Have you guys all seen it?
I have.
Yeah, I think that.
Okay. Then we
Just
just slap it
noticed
on
the
at the beginning. You
little
just noticed
spooky
it?
monsters on Wizard's
Oh
shoulders.
yeah,
Spooky
nice, right?
monsters on my shoulders. That's how I am in real life too. If you didn't know, just for everyone watching the stream, that's exactly what it looks like in real life when I walk around.
So Pinwrap is obviously not doing this, but Ulfgar and Lena.
So Ulfgar said that he was going to stop by, at the very least, stop by. I don't know. He didn't know about timing per se, but Lena is not going to be joining us this evening, I believe, is what Adam said.
Okay.
We well, with the just a point of sort of procedural business before we get into the game, we might want. Should we consider adding another person to the game, given Ulfgar's sort of sporadic availability and the
Pimrap's permanent.
death? You guys left him. It had nothing to do with his schedule, and it was 100% about you guys leaving him to die in the dungeon.
Well, one influenced the other.
Did it?
Yes.
Yeah, he was like, well, I know I'm going to die, so I guess I better sign up for these early morning classes.
Well, I backed myself into a corner. All right, early morning classes it is. Something along those lines, yes. So we might want to consider adding another person to, at the very least, fill Pinwrap's role.
I did reach out to somebody, but she's on the West Coast, so we'd be starting at 5:30 her time, so I'm not sure if she'll be able to do it or not.
Okay. Well, if she's into it, that'd be cool. If not, I'm sure we could maybe follow up with some of the peeps on Reboot. If someone wants to join from there, that would be fine. If anyone knows anyone else who might be interested or who's been talking about it or they've been trying to like harass into playing D&D, that would also be cool. But I think we should probably add another person, I guess, is my current leaning.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Is good.
All right, cool. We can talk about that more later.
I thought we just did.
Well, I meant about specific people, Craig, but yeah, but that's fine. All right, cool. So, does anyone want? It was 2 weeks ago. Does anyone want to give a quick overview of what occurred 2 weeks ago to fill each other and or the handful of people watching?
So, Bungo led you guys all to safety, and outside of the hole. Then, after we got out of the hole in the Citadel proper, we started heading back to what we start calling it, the place of origin.
O-Town,
Origin Town.
O-Town.
Yes, O-Town.
O-Town for sure.
We headed back to O-Town. Along the way, we found a lost little boy in a deserted cart. He was headed in the opposite direction to another town. We found out that he is nobility or comes from money or something like that. Then we also found yet another person that was heading back to O-Town. We decided that we were going to go back to O-Town to deliver the kid, give back, complete our original mission about the kids that got lost in the Citadel, and hopefully make everyone happy, since that seemed like it was a decent spot. Additionally, we were being careful and taking our time to get back to O-Town because there's a high chance of marauding orc, as they have decimated caravans on the way back. Also, Pinwrap may or may not have gotten what he deserved in the world at large. Ulfgar may have a tummy ache and depressed. He may have thrown himself down a well. We don't know. And Lena has probably stormed off in a rage.
I love how Bungo's recaps like basically all start with like, well, Bungo saved the world single-handedly, and then goes
Well, you guys
into.
were there.
Okay, so that was pretty good. Let's see. So you found a boy named Jack. That was the first. That was the first individual you came across in the caravan, and the second, the individual, the little boy that you saved from the crevice, his name was Oysen.
He had a raccoon.
Jack has a raccoon.
Oh, Jack got the raccoon? Okay.
Yes, Jack has a raccoon. Oysen was bleeding out on the bottom of a crevasse floor, to put it in a funny way. Okay, so where you all left off was prior to sleeping for the evening, if I recall correctly. Is that everyone's recollection as well? I went back and looked.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
it
so
seems
we
that-
were sleeping in trees and whatnot.
Right, you were deciding how to bunk for the evening. I asked for your specific, as is important on your trek home. I asked for your specific sort of arrangements. Is there a fire? Isn't there a fire? Where's everyone sleeping? Who's taking care of the children? Who's taking watch in specific orders and things of that nature? And I think in lieu of doing that, we decided to break for the evening. So I'm going to need that information prior to your rest, long or short, however you guys are going to do it. Also, I believe that it had been raining on and off that last day, and it was going to that when you guys were bunking down to go to sleep, it indeed had begun to rain fairly heavily, and that's where you guys can pick up.
On that note, I remember Jack and the boys kind of and Bungo kind of kicking it off. The one boy who doesn't stop talking, him and Bungo specifically,
Jack.
Jack, yeah, like each other's company. And I remember Ulfgar getting a little handsy with the boys, and so I asked them they could brought them up into a tree to retire.
Z.
Was it Ulfgar? Hold on, I'm trying to think. Was it Ulfgar getting handsy, or was it Who was getting handsy?
It was Lena flashing her newly acquired male genitals.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yes. So it was Avaris protecting Oysen and Bungo protecting Jack from Lena's rage
Helicopter
flashing.
dick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Okay, so that's where we'll pick up. It is, like I said, it is raining fairly hard at this point.
How cold is
It's
it?
picked up.
It is.
2 seconds ago it was off and on. Now it's raining.
No,
hard.
I was sorry. Just to be clear, my description was that it was raining off and on that day. As you guys settled in for the evening, it picked up. It started to rain fairly hard again. I wouldn't say that it's. I mean, it's cold. It's raining. It's cold. It's not like you won't freeze to death at night if you don't start a fire, but it will be a very uncomfortable evening. I'll sort of leave it at that.
I think we said we were on the lookout for some fallen trees or something we could use. Can I try to get some fallen branches and leaves and stuff and make a lean-to
Sure.
against that?
Yep. You want to roll survival? Probably work for that.
It's leaky.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not great. It's not great. If does someone want to help do that as well?
I'll lend a hand.
All right. Go ahead and roll again, Avaris. I'll give you guys a advantage. Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. So it's pretty good. It's a pretty good lean-to. You can fit since the two of you sort of put it up, you could probably fit. You could probably fit all 5 of you inside of it. It's going to be a tight squeeze, though.
We just stack the 2 kids on top of each other, save room.
Yeah, sure. Just put them like head to toe, like.
Well, I
Right.
thought Jackson would hang out, especially with me in the tree.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, if you guys want to go in the tree, then yes, sure.
All right. Well, then, how many more hours of walking do we expect to get back to O-Town from this point?
If I recall correctly, and someone can feel free to correct me otherwise, I thought my understanding was that you had just crested the
right arm of the T
correct,
of the chasm.
I remember a lot of just the tip jokes.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly where I thought you guys were as well. So that works out.
Didn't somebody make some crappy leaf umbrellas last time?
Yes, there were several. I wouldn't say that there were. Some of them were great. Some of them were not as great. But there were definitely some leaf umbrellas made. Yes.
I'd like to use one of those leaf umbrellas, and as a bird person, I'll stay in the tree also.
Okay, so you're going to use a leaf umbrella and try to sleep in a tree. There's a pretty good cramped 5-man lean-to that is now down to 2 people, I think. So it should be pretty good if the 2 of you want to stay in it. Pretty spacey. You could probably fit, I don't know, fire or something under there if you wanted as well. If the other 3 people are not going to stay there.
Not Ulfgar.
Yeah, Ulfgar. I mean, I guess the way that we'll play it when people aren't here is that their characters just like won't be there. It's going to be difficult to keep track of everyone if they're not here. So they're like ghost traveling with you.
It was more a joke about his weight and not a serious suggestion.
Okay. Well, yeah, Ulfgar would take up the entire lean-to just by his width. Those of you sleeping in the tree, it is going to be cold and rainy. The tree is going to protect you somewhat. You're still going to get wet. It's not going to be a nice night.
Is there no fire?
Tree plus umbrella? Not gonna be enough?
No, not tree plus umbrella. Unless how do you sleep that you hold an umbrella above your head consistently?
Can I not?
Crook of my armpit.
Can I not fashion these little branches into a makeshift roof and shelter?
I'll let you roll survival, but you can't have Sizzler assist you because he was assisting of ours. Yeah, I don't think that you can make an entire secondary lean-to in a tree that's going to cover both you and the boy with serious consistency. I mean, it's good enough that you don't have to hold the umbrella while sleeping, but it's you're still going to get wet. You're not going to get You're not going to get exhaustion or anything. You're just going to wake up wet.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
So my plan is to
wait. I do have a furry mat. Actually, I have a furry mat that I may have procured from an area. Can I not sleep under this furry mat?
Yeah, if you want to use the furry mat, I'll say that you and the boy. How big is it? Does it say or no?
No.
Okay, I'll say that you and the boy, if you cuddle, neither of you will get wet if you place the furry mat into your makeshift lean-to.
I'll have to throw it away. I mean, who wants a smelly dog mat after that? But yeah,
Very true.
I will definitely. We can definitely cuddles. That's
fair
fine.
enough.
I would say, given the track record of Bungo literally never taking watch, and Sizzler, I believe, falling asleep on watch. I'm just not going to trance tonight, and I'm just going to stay up.
Okay. All right.
So I don't
Bungo
know
needs
what
his
kind
beauty
of
sleep.
penalties I will be taking for that tomorrow, but I'll just stay on watch myself the whole night.
Let's see.
Falling asleep on watch.
Sizzler, so what are you doing? Are you gonna do the wet evening?
I've got a guard uniform in my pack, so I think I'll use that to make a better umbrella, like a larger, more weather-resistant one.
Okay. Do you want to what suggest a roll to me? I don't know that it would be survival. I mean, you can use survival if you want, but I don't know that matches.
Because that seems like a thing.
Oh yeah, Tinker's tools. That you think that works for?
Yeah, I'm
umbrella?
tinkering with
Tinkering with an umbrella and guards clothes. I just don't feel like.
Soldier Spies tools.
Yeah. Hold on. What else do you have? Yeah, use your spies tools. That probably fits. No.
No. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spies tools.
Oh God. Okay. Not those. All right. Use your Tinker.
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman comes and stands over you and keeps you dry at night. Okay, you're fine. Sure. You have some strange clothing umbrella that you made, clothing canopy that you made, but the clothes will not be. All right, here's the deal. I'll let you use your Tinker's tools, and you can use that roll if you'd like. The clothes will not be salvageable.
Fine.
You still want to use it?
Deal has been struck, DM.
What'd you say?
Struck.
All right, cool. Okay, so you have this cool like clothes canopy thing, so you should stay fairly dry throughout the evening. Bungo and Jack, Bungo threw Jack into a tree somehow. They both scurried up, and Bungo made this cool like fur canopy thing. Avaris and Oisin are in a lean-to, and it seems as if they are going to be staying the evening there. Is anyone eating, or is that not a thing that's going to happen for 24 hours?
I'm gonna check my rations very thoroughly for any bugs
rations
before I eat them.
What, 24 hours or 8?
What? No, the last time you guys ate was 24 hours ago.
No, it was not, because we had eating, and that's how the sex change happened.
Yeah, didn't you? When was that? I thought that was at before you went to bed last time. No.
No, I don't think so. I don't believe that there's been a long rest since the eating.
Okay, well, somewhere between 8 and 24 hours ago, you guys ate last. Are you going to eat before you go to sleep?
Yeah,
I have rations that are unaffected, so I am good. I'll eat my ration.
Okay, are you giving Jack some food?
If you want some.
Yeah, Jack would like to eat.
Sure.
He just needs like a piece, like a fourth or a half a ration will be fine.
Yeah, you can have a full ration, that's fine.
Okay, he'll take a full ration and he'll stick half of it in his pocket. You checked it prior to giving it to him, I assume?
I rolled mine was not affected last time we did this. I thought, because I didn't get food from the same source.
Everyone, yeah, I mean, if you have to check your food. Every time that you eat it, you have to check it.
Oh, all right, so I'll check the food before giving it to this poor little boy.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm basically going to break my rations down into small pieces and just make sure that I'm not eating anything first.
Okay. Go ahead, everyone. Everyone who wants to eat something, make their check.
What's the check?
The check is, I'm looking back in my notes.
No, I thought it was specific food that was like given or presented.
No, it
shown
wasn't.
at a
No, they
certain
were your
time.
rations.
All right.
Okay, it's perception.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you're fine, Bungo. You don't need to check yours.
Do I get advantage for breaking mine down into small pieces first?
We'll say no first. Oh yeah, do it. But I want to see what your rolls are. Okay, it's fine. Your first one was 23. It's enough anyway. Sizzler.
I'm not eating.
All right. So are you giving some to Oysen as
Yeah, I
well?
was
Okay.
sharing mine.
Okay, cool. All right, so everyone except for Sizzler is fairly well fed. Everyone is going to be get a full night's rest without, with the exception of Varus. So we will say that Sizzler and Varus, you are going to like have the onset of exhaustion. It doesn't affect you in any way, but you're tired, and we'll say that your perception checks only are affected with disadvantage, but everything else is fine. But if you proceed like another evening without sleeping, or another 8 to 12 hours or what have you without eating, specifically for Sizzler, you'll suffer the full effects of 1 level of exhaustion.
You guys should really try to sleep at night. It's really relaxing.
I'm sleeping.
You're just not eating.
A disagreement over the last time that we ate.
Well, I mean, it does, I'm just saying. So if you, I mean, that's fine.
Like, if you're going to insist that it's been a really long time, then
Right.
I'm sure. I guess I'll eat.
Sure.
I just
I mean,
didn't
you don't
want to
have
argue
to.
about it.
You don't have to. You'll just, like I said, you'll just have disadvantage on perception checks. That's all. Until you eat.
Reason not to eat if I'm going to have a disadvantage. So,
That is also a good point.
just eat some rations.
All right. Give me that perception roll.
Perception roll. I'm just going to eat. I'm hungry.
You're not
I'm hungry now, so I'm just going to eat. Perception roll.
All right. Roll 1d20. Okay. You eat and you go to sleep. Okay, Varus, do you make a fire or anything, or no? I can't remember where we found.
No, I didn't plan on making any fire.
Okay. All right. So you guys, Varus keeps watch. Varus, can you roll a 1d20 for me, please? Okay. Can you also
Bunga, 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 bunga. Bunga, 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 bunga.
can you make a perception roll for me as well?
Okay, is this going to be? This is in the middle of the night, right?
Yeah. No, I'll give you. You can just do it normally. Oh, okay, that's great. All right. So you are keeping watch. You hear Bungo snoring with his typical bungo, 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 bungo. Sizzler is a little bit restless. You see like some movement in the tree where Sizzler was. You see a shadow sort of fairly far away, but it's a large shadow. It is whatever this thing is that is casting this shadow is casting a massive shadow, but it's fairly far away. It's maybe like 80 to 100 yards away. It's far. But
wait, are we in the morning now?
No, it's sort of the nightish time. But you have night vision or dark vision.
Yeah, I
right?
got dark vision.
Yeah. So you see this like
The
grayed.
Also shape.
Yeah. So you
Not
see
really.
this like sure. So you see this like grayed out like shape of something that is like you see the movement. You don't see the thing, right? This is how sort of I'm going to describe it. You don't see the thing causing this like cast shadow, but with your dark vision, that when you sort of when you're seeing the gray, right? There's an area of just black on the ground where it was like gray before, and it's moving slowly toward your position.
I will toss a couple rocks at the bungo and Sizzler.
Okay. Give me some sort of rock throwing roll.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay. That'll
you
work.
loaded up with his longbow.
That'll work. Okay, so you shoot Sizzler in the back with a longbow.
Well,
Roll
it's
damage.
a rock-tipped arrow, so it's bludgeoning.
A rock-tipped arrow? That sounds so comfortable.
Okay, so Sizzler takes 15 damage. No. Okay, so you feel Bungo and Sizzler, we'll say. I mean, can't get a better roll than that.
Ricochet.
Yeah, you feel like you're tapped with something as you're sleeping.
Look up and look around.
Do you have dark vision? Sizzler, do you have dark vision?
Do not.
Okay. You can't see anything.
I can see him looking around, though.
Yes.
There's something in the shadows 80 to 100 yards away. It's big, slowly moving this way.
Okay, so keep in mind that it's raining pretty hard. So in order for you to say that to him, you are probably going to need to speak up.
That's fine. I mean, if
Okay.
it's raining that hard, my voice isn't going to
Sure.
carry that far.
That's fine. Okay, I just wanted to note. That's fine, though. All right, so Bungo, what do you do?
I feel like I was tapped, right? Touched.
Yeah. Yep.
I feel like it might be my patron, and I wake up and I, yes, Celestial, and I have no idea what's going on.
Okay, then you hear Avaris transmit the information that he just said.
What was that information?
There's something big slowly coming this way, about 80 to 100 yards. And I'll describe the direction relative to how Sizzler was facing.
Bungo, you have dark vision, right?
No, but I can
No.
cast light.
Okay.
So I think I would like to do so.
Well, fuck.
Let's
Rip
see what
stealth.
it is. So I can see below me. So I guess I'll do. Is there like a tent or campfire that I can see or something like right below me?
No,
Or
there is no
anything close to.
Yeah, there's a lean-to. Where Avaris is on the map, there's a lean-to.
Yeah, no, on the lean-to then, like on the tip top of it, I will cast light.
Okay, and
It's
how?
80
What is?
to 100 yards away.
Yeah, what is the? what is the diameter of the light? Like how far?
Only 20 feet.
Okay. Okay, great. So now it's more difficult
40.
for Avaris to see the shadow thing. And
I don't see anything. Is there nothing around
you
us
still
for
don't
40
see
feet?
anything.
Yeah, it's 20 feet bright light, 20 feet another dim. So
Okay.
up to 40 feet away from there, I'll be able to see.
You can make
I
it
think
any
there's-
color you like.
I move back into shadows, and I will hide. And I have the Mask of the Wild racial feat, which means I can hide even when I'm only slightly obscured by foliage, heavy rain, falling snow, mist, and other natural phenomena.
Okay, so
So I can be in the open and hide.
Yeah, you're fine because it's raining pretty heavily, so you could just hide where you are.
I'd like to do this in black light, like a very bright black light, and I
Black
see
light.
all the stains on the front of Avaris's.
All right, great minds think alike because I was going to say the exact same thing. All right. Okay, so as Avaris runs into sort of away from the light and begins to try to hide essentially in the rain and whatnot,
Turn out that light.
As he's running away, you see just like a bunch of stains on the front of his outfit. What are you doing with Oisin? Are you leaving him in the lean-to of ours?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
Do we not see anything?
No, you don't see anything because it was 100 to 80 yards away.
Okay. So Avaris hit us with the rock, said there's something over there. I cast the light for essentially 40 feet. I see and hear nothing, and he just runs away.
Correct. That's exactly what just happened.
Like, look over there, and then he pieces out.
Yep.
All right. Well, then I guess I will climb down from the tree and check on. I tell Jack to stay up. Well, Jack's not awake yet, so I'll just climb down to check on the boy to make sure Avaris didn't just like kidnap the kid or something weird.
Nope, the kid's still there.
He left us.
Kid's still there. He's sleeping. Both kids are sleeping still.
Haven't left. I'm just not trying to be seen by whatever's out there.
So Avaris is yelling to you from the from wherever he's hiding in the rain.
I'm just stealthing. Is he yelling from wherever he's hiding?
Yes, I guess. Avaris?
I did. I mean,
Okay.
and
Just to be clear, you're running away from where you saw the thing, Avaris.
where is the thing to the east?
The thing is to the wait, is the east? I don't know. Yeah, if we are okay, no, you were running toward it. I'm sorry, you were running when you just did that like movement, the initial movement. You were running toward it.
Yeah, then this way
Yeah.
would be fine.
Yeah, that way is the way that you want to go. It's like over here. We'll say like around by sort of this rock formation.
And I've got my longbow drawn.
Seeing Bungo hop down out of the tree, an idea struck me. I think Sizzler would like to hop down out of the tree, but using his guard uniform umbrella to try to Mary Poppins his way down.
Oh yes,
Rip in
dude.
pieces tiny hollow bones.
Roll. I don't know, either an acrobatics or an athletics, whichever you want to do, because that's awesome with advantage, because I love it. Oh. Okay, so you jump out of a tree and it just goes like Charlie Chaplin, like reverse umbrella, and you just fall straight to the ground and roll a 1d3. You take 3 damage.
I thought birds can fly.
And your
Not
guard
Kanku.
and your guard canopy umbrella thing is like totally effed.
That was a dumb idea.
The worst of all worlds.
That was such a good idea, though. Okay, so Avaris, as sort of that's going on, you hear, I guess, the Kenku sort of call out in pain for a second. You see the shadow start to very rapidly move toward the light.
I yell for Bungo to move that damned light away from the lean-to.
Based on your last perception, Avaris, as you yell, one of the things that you notice very acutely is that as the shadow, you still can't see what's causing the shadow, but what you can see is that as it moves toward, the camp area, the light, it's like very rapidly shrinking in size.
Oh, hell. I'll run out to meet whatever it is, and I'll draw my short sword and try to intercept it.
Okay, so if you run from exactly where you are, sort of in a diagonal path, toward there, how much movement is that? Is that 1 full movement for you?
Yeah, my base speed is like 35.
Okay, so that's like you use your whole movement to get there, and by the time the shadow gets to you, it's we'll see, it's about the size of, you would imagine that it's being cast by like either like a human or like an elf. It's like human or elf size from like Goliath size.
Who goes there?
Roll another perception for me. So you still, despite the fact that you're like right, like almost colliding with the shadow, you still don't see the thing that's causing the shadow, and you just feel this gust of wind go past your shoulder and like behind you toward the camp.
Well, I guess I will try to run behind it and draft whatever semi just flew by.
Okay. All right, so you're going to turn around and I guess run toward the camp.
Yes.
Okay. Sizzler, and I don't know if Bungo's back, but Sizzler, I'll let you. Is there anything that you want to do? I don't know that you can see this, but
Well, he should, because there should be light out to this point.
let's see. Let's do a little quick measurement. No, it's 20 feet of light. So
It's 20 feet of bright light and then 20 additional
Right.
feet of dim light.
Sure. So you could see the shadow, Sizzler, and Bungo. Okay, Bungo and Sizzler. Okay, so what happened while you were gone, Bungo? Just quickly, the shadow and Avaris ran out to meet the shadow. The shadow went from like Goliath size down to, as it was like moving toward the camp, it like rapidly shrunk in size, almost with each passing step. From approximately like Goliath-esque size shadow down to maybe like elf or human size shadow. Avaris went out to meet it, like sword or bow drawn, and it like you sort of see in through the darkness his body like move slightly and turn back toward camp. And you sort of see the outline of the shadow, and again, it's probably like maybe elfish in size as it moves past Avaris and to the camp.
So a shadow, like on the ground shadow, or like a walking visage?
Correct, on the ground.
Okay. Can I call out to the shadow?
You can do whatever you want. I'm giving you and Sizzler. It just rushed past Avaris. I'm giving you and Sizzler an opportunity
Rush.
to do something.
It rushed past. It didn't do anything else. It like
Nope.
like rushing.
Avaris just felt like a sort of like a not like a gust is not the proper word, but he felt like a rush of air past like his shoulder and like sort of push him back a little bit, and then but the shadow just kept moving.
Is the shadow moving quickly?
It's moving relatively quickly, yeah.
All right, halt, shadow. And I take out my short sword, and I would like to prepare an action if it gets close to stab the ground where the shadow is.
Okay. So if it gets like within 5 feet or what have you, you'll stab the ground where the shadow is.
Yep, and I'd like to have the tent stand where the boy is in the tree, I guess, behind me.
Okay, so you're going to step between the shadow and the tent.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Sizzler, is there anything that you'd like to do? You saw the same thing that Bungo did.
Mimic a wolf howl. Oh! And then I will prep some acid to throw at it if it looks like it's a hostile creature and it gets in range.
Okay. All right, Avaris, we'll be back to you. The shadow is still moving toward the camp. We'll say it's maybe like about, let me ping, about here. And it's probably between elf and half-elf size now.
Yeah, I'll keep trying to get closer to it and see if I can see what might be causing the shadow. Reach out, try to grab something, I guess.
Okay, make do you have like an unarmed strike queued up or something?
I do not.
Okay.
I could do grappling, which is athletics.
Yeah, sure, do that. Okay, you reach out and grab something.
What's it feel like?
It feels small and like is like wiggling between your fingers trying to get out of your hand or hands, however you grabbed it. One hand or two hand?
It would have been one-handed because
Okay, sure.
got
So it's trying
shield
to
on
get
one
out.
hand.
It's trying to get out of your hand.
All right.
But it doesn't.
Sizzler, do you have a jar?
A jar?
A flask? Something with a stopper that I can put something in?
Do have a flask? Would you like my flask?
You've heard someone say that? I'll
An
walk over
alchemist.
to
I'm sure
Sizzler.
we trade flasks all the time.
Sure, I'll try to put whatever this is in the flask and stopper it real quick.
All right, as you start to walk back toward the camp, you just hear like a and this heavy fog just starts to roll out of your hand.
I think I've captured a tiny pin wrap. Can I still see Sizzler, or am I going to need to like Marco Polo?
Yeah, you guys are gonna need to figure out how to find. I mean, you can like try to walk in that direction. It's gonna be relatively slow going. You two can still pin wrap and or not pin wrap. Bungo and Sizzler can still see each other because you're like in arm's reach, and you can still see the tent because again, Sizzler's in arm's reach. But it's going to be you guys are going to need to Marco Polo to each other, more or less, to try to get whatever's in your hand into some sort of flask. I will say though, it is not small enough to fit into like a drinking flask. Whatever you feel in your hand.
Marconis.
Is this more of a graduated cylinder deal?
Yeah, it would have to be more like you would imagine if it was like a
mason
potion
jar.
bottle with a mason jar kind of a maybe, or like a large mason jar. You could probably like one of those that you see like a head in, like that kind of a thing, something like that. All right, so as you guys,
I'll go towards Vivaris's voice.
okay, so as you all try to make it through this thick fog that's just rolling out of Avaris's hand at like a very rapid pace. Avaris, I'm going to need you to make one more athletics check.
Ooh, not so good.
All right, let's see. Yeah, so this thing, let me see.
Varus is a reader. He's not supposed to be doing athletic things.
All right, let's see. All right, well, 26 definitely hits, huh, Vars?
Yeah.
Okay, you feel just this sharp pain emanate from your hand and take 12 points of damage.
My God.
And this thing is no longer in your hand.
You do realize that you haven't leveled us up past like 4, right?
Yeah, I do.
4d6 plus 3. That's ouch town.
And I now see the thing that has attacked me.
You do not see it per se. You see its outline in the fog, quickly moving away from you. It is approximately the size of. It's a creature that's in the air. That's approximately the size of like a head.
Since it took a hostile action in harming Avaris, I'm gonna throw my acid at it.
You cannot see it.
Should we roll initiative?
You
Should
can
we roll?
you can try. This thing's trying to escape, and there's you're whatever you would throw at it from the Sizzler Bungo side would be with disadvantage. You're throwing into a very thick fog. Of Varus, I will let you take a swipe at it in it running away. But I don't necessarily know if it needs initiative per se. Unless you can all take actions.
The fuck?
Damn, homie. All right, yeah, you swing your sword after this thing that bites you, and you connect with something for 16 points of damage.
I'm gonna actually spend a superiority die
Sure.
and attempt a trip attack to try to knock it down. And if it's large or smaller, it must make a strength saving throw. And on a failed save, I knock the target prone. DC is 15.
Okay, so say it one more time. Sorry. If it's smaller than you knock it down, or if it's bigger than you knock it down, or either, it doesn't matter.
If it's large or smaller, and it's going to take
Oh, I see. Okay.
27 damage total.
Okay. Takes 27 damage, and I have to do a DC
15 strength save or be knocked down.
Okay. Let's see.
Nice rolls. Just killed the thing.
All right. That's not going to do it. Neither a 3 or a 1. Okay, I guess I'll use this. Let's see. Oof, that's not going to do it either. All right, so this thing, you swing through and connect with this thing for what, 27 you said?
Yep.
Okay, for 27, and you hit it, and it you push it, you imagine onto the ground, through the fog. You don't have clear eyes on it, but you definitely connected with it, and you felt it as you swung your sword down. You felt the connect push this thing very much to the ground.
Is this
I
like
believe
the
I've
Predator?
grounded it.
What'd you say,
Is it-
Craig?
Is this like the Predator and now it's dripping green blood so we can at least see it, part of it?
No.
And then I'll try to step up towards it and see if I can see where it might be in the fog.
Okay, make a perception check for me. Now that things are shaking out, yeah, you can't quite see it.
I'm gonna take a step towards Avaris, hearing that he knocked it down, and see if I can see anything.
Yeah, you roll your perception check.
So he connected with it, tripped it, but he still has no idea where it is. Sizzler
Yes.
does.
No,
Well, I knocked it into the fog further.
Ah.
Yeah, Sizzler, you see the outline of this thing, and it's on the ground, and I don't know if you've seen anything like this before in person, but maybe in books. It looks like a small elf, like very small, like the size of a head, like a size of a human head, with wings.
I'm gonna throw my acid at it.
Okay. All right, let's see what we can do. With Dex, huh? Yep. Somehow, this thing rolls away from you. Away from the acid.
No disadvantage for being prone?
Let's see. No, actually, no disadvantage because it has special abilities that give it advantage on things. So it's just a straight roll. So it rolls away from the acid, sort of looks up and scowls at the two of you. Bungo, what would you like to do?
Well, I don't see anything, right?
No, but you could run after Pinwrap, or I keep saying Pinwrap. You can run after Sizzler.
No, I mean I'm protecting the boys.
Okay.
I'm. If I see the shadow approach, I'm
Yeah.
sticking with
Okay.
it.
Yeah, you just saw Sizzler run off into the fog.
Yeah.
All right. So this thing, this thing disappears. I will let the two of you make some sort of reaction, if you would like.
React to it disappearing?
Yeah, you could try to
Can
swing at it. You can try to grab it.
Can you describe this disappearance more?
Sure. So it looked at the two of you and scowled, and then like closed its eyes for a second, and then like just faded away. But in that second where it's starting to fade away, you guys can do something if you would like.
And I throw a bottle of ink at it.
Yeah. Do some sort of like unarmed strike scenario that you did before. If you want it to be dex for a throw, you can do that, or athletics or something.
Longbow would be the same for a thrown weapon for me.
Sure. Yeah. It you missed it. The ink splatters on the ground in front of you. Sizzler?
So where was it? Can you ping which square
Yeah, sure.
it was?
Absolutely. It was right here, right? Then you it was between the two of you. Then you threw acid on it, and it rolled. It rolled nearby, but it rolled away from you.
There's some fire right here. So
Sure.
splash in that 9 box square there.
Okay. Oof. All right, so all right, so you lit this thing on fire. And there's a glimmer of Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I might have lied. Hold on. No, you'd still definitely lit this thing on fire. Okay, good. All right, so yeah, you lit this thing on fire, and there's like a little glimmer of a little shriek. You hear a little shriek, and then this like glimmer of movement in the fire, heading through here. Here's where the glimmer is, and it just starts to go into the air this way.
Chase after it?
You can do whatever you want.
This fog is still there, right?
Yes. It's sort of like if you like lit a paper plane on fire and then like threw it through like the night or like a fog, where you would see like some little burny pieces as it as it floated through the air until eventually you didn't see it anymore, but you know, either because the fire went out or the paper burned up or whatever the scenario was. So you are free to do whatever you guys want.
Or my crossbow after the flamey paper plane?
Yep, you're going to be shooting with disadvantage through the fog, though. But give it a go. Yeah, you hit. All right, takes 10 damage.
Forward to try to keep up with it a little bit.
Bungo's staying. What are you going to do?
I'm
Lars?
remaining in this area to keep watch to make sure nothing else is trying to come around or that it's not trying to loop up over the tree and back around.
Okay, Sizzler, I will give you one more perception roll to see if you lose sight of it or not. You lose sight of it.
Took 43 damage. I figured it had to be close to dead. Oh well.
Behind the curtain, it was fairly close to dead. Not wildly close, but fairly close. Okay, so the fog starts to dissipate with the exit of your, I don't know, I guess you could call it loosely an intruder. And probably about half of the evening remains, we'll say. What do you guys do?
Ask Bungo to extinguish the light and then keep standing watch.
Why would I extinguish the light? It seemed like it was effective. It kept the shadow away.
No, it didn't. It had exactly the opposite effect. And the entire reason we didn't light a fire was to not advertise our position.
Then why'd you wake me up? Can't help if I can't see. And I will move the light directly to his pants and with strobe effect, and then I'll go back into the tree.
Okay.
Parasol destroyed. I'm gonna grumble. I'm gonna turn in and go into the lean-to on the ground.
All right. Avaris?
I need to check something. Do I get my dex save to avoid him putting light on my pants?
Yeah, sure.
Dodge the light.
Yep. You avoid the light landing on you.
Cool. Then I will continue standing guard.
Okay, so the light.
I'll take out the light
Okay.
once I'm in the tree. Once I'm in
So
the
you-
tree, there's no.
You throw a light ball at him. He dodges it. It, like, rolls on the ground or what have you, and then do you just put it out?
Once I get into the tree, I
Okay.
want to make sure that I can see without problem. Not climb back to my spot and make sure Jack's okay.
Yeah,
And,
Jack is undisturbed.
Good. And then I'll get ready and go back to sleep and turn off the light.
Okay. Sizzler, what are you doing?
I'm going to sleep.
In the lean-to, or you're going back in the tree? Did you say something? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
The lean-to.
Okay, you're in the lean-to. All right. So all right, so you go in the lean-to. Avaris, you stay outside. So the rest of the night passes without incident. Those of you who slept can, we'll say, have the benefits of a long rest. Those of you who didn't obviously cannot. And Avaris, on perception checks only, you are going to have disadvantage until you get some rest.
Sure.
Okay, so the next morning comes and Jack wakes up, Oysen wakes up, and they sort of look at Avaris, who looks a little bit worse for wear, and Oysen says, "What happened to you?"
Faye, in the middle of the night.
And I turn to him and whisper, "This is what happens when you touch yourself at night."
You turn to Jack and say that? Bungo?
To both boys. I
Okay.
need this to be a lesson to live
Sure.
by.
They both like
warn them about masturbation.
they both like slowly put their hands like out to the side and nod like very seriously. Like and then Jack actually goes into this diatribe about things that he learned in his religious health class. He's like, "Oh, I heard that's how you go to hell," and then he just starts talking about like all of these religious doctrines with regard to touching oneself. All right, so what do you guys want to do?
Head back around, follow the chasm, and then get back on the road towards O-Town.
All right.
Town.
All right. So you pack up what you can pack up. You start moving toward O-Town. The rain has ceased. Seems like it's going to be a decent day. You start your trek. It is fairly... the morning so far goes fairly fine. You guys are moving at a decent pace. You would imagine. What did we say, that it was going to be 5 days to O-Town, and you've gone through?
You said like a day and a half.
No, a day and a half on each side, I think is what it was, right? So what is that? 3 days?
I guess.
I don't know about each side. You definitely said it was a day and a half to get to the top of the mountain.
Yeah, so if it was a day, that's what I'm saying. So if it's a day and a half to get to the
pace.
right,
Careful
if
pace.
it's a day and a half at a careful pace to get to the top of the where the crevice ends, right, which is where you guys are now, that means that it takes a day and a half to get back to the road to get to O-Town.
The road.
Well, we
to
could
get to
also
O-Town?
just
Yeah, but it was
Or
only
just
like
get to
it
O-Town?
only took you guys less than half a day to get all the way to the Sunless Citadel. It's
I mean, if we have to go around anyways, there's no real reason for us to just follow along the chasm. We could just head in that direction, and eventually we'll either hit the road or we'll hit O-Town. So we could just set off.
Okay, so does anyone?
O-Town.
All right, does anyone have? Can someone give me like a nature roll or something along those lines for directional abilities? Because now you're just going to try to head off into the forest in the direction that you think O-Town or the road may be in.
Wait a second.
Sure.
Isn't you said okay? So it's a day and a half at a careful pace, but if it's a normal pace, we'll hit O-Town at night tonight, correct?
Yeah, if you follow, well, let me see. If you follow the chasm, right, and you guys go, at a fairly good clip, right? You push it. Yeah, you could probably get to O-Town like that night.
Yeah, and now I think that was the whole purpose of us camping here and taking the deliberate pace was that no matter what, it was still going to take us another day to get to O-Town, even if we pushed a lot yesterday.
Sure,
But now
and
that it's today, we were
sure.
just going to push on.
And that's fine, but then I would imagine you'd have to take the chasm because that's the way that right? If you just run through the woods,
Yeah.
that through woods that you've never been through before, it's gonna obviously it's like they're thick
the
woods.
Way,
Unless you roll an 18 and you know the way through the woods.
Yeah, I mean the way. It's still gonna take time. I mean you have to pick your way through a thick forest. That doesn't. But you'll head in what you believe to be the proper direction.
Let's take the road most traveled, though. You can see danger coming.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
I'll shrug. Sure.
But Sizzler's like pointing, like, but I know, but guys, it's okay. So, roll a 1d6 for me. Anyone? research that he's been doing, the medicines that he's been working on, why he's working on the medicines, death, and how unlucky he is, things of that nature.
So, but this is nowhere as near as sullen as, let's say, like Ulfgar at normal.
Yeah, it's like one click above Ulfgar Sullen.
Yeah, so like this doesn't even faze me.
Okay, but the point is that as you travel, he seems to just become more and more sullen. It's just a gloomier mood, right? Whereas before he was like excited, right? And now he's definitely not excited anymore.
Okay, noted.
Actually, everyone roll a perception except for Bungo. You don't have to roll a perception. And Avaris, you have to roll it with disadvantage. Okay, yep. All right. Everybody sees the Jack's raccoon darting sort of in and out of the woods, and then like running back toward Jack, and darting back into the woods, and running back toward
the raccoon.
Running back toward Jack. Did we name the raccoon? I can't recall.
I know what it was, but
I don't recall either. I don't have it in a note. The raccoon seems to not be as spry and agile as it had previously.
Did I get a look at the creature last night?
You did? You and Sizzler did. Bungo did not.
I will describe it to Jack and ask what he can tell me about it.
Jack,
Can I scold Avaris about trying to bring up scary and spooky things?
Yes.
Clearly are made up.
Avaris, roll. Avaris, roll some sort of charisma. Describe to me what role you want to make in terms of charisma and why.
I'll just ask him if he knows anything about creatures like that. So I guess persuasion?
Sure. His sullen mood is evident to everyone now, not just Bungo. He nods his head as if to say no, and says, I don't know much about specific creatures.
Do I think he's telling the truth?
I mean, you think he's telling the truth, but it also seems like maybe he's he has more to say.
Jack, you don't seem to be in as pleasant of a mood today. Is something wrong?
People keep on trying to scare him. Just a boy.
Jack sort of piggybacks off of what Bungo says and says, like, I don't know. It seems like I'm always sort of, I don't know. I just feel like a dark cloud follows me everywhere. I'm sort of worried for you guys.
You said his name was Jack, right? Not Max.
Yes, Jack.
That's a super deep dark cloud cut. What do you mean a dark cloud? Like a curse?
I mean, I don't know that it's a curse, but I don't know. whenever I'm around, just bad things seem to happen. People seem to die, and I don't know why it is, but it's been happening for a little while now. I mean, you guys found me, and the Orc Raiders had killed everyone.
Well,
I mean, that kind of stuff just seems to happen around me all the time, and it's just taxing. And I'm also worried that that's going to happen, to you guys who are trying to be so helpful to me.
Well, don't worry about us. We're famous adventurers. Nothing could hurt us.
Okay, all of you, if you would like, can make an insight check. Bungo, you don't want to?
He's just a boy, damn it. Of course
Okay.
he's telling the truth.
Avaris, you note that he is telling the truth. Sizzle, you get the idea that he's telling the truth too. But Avaris, you notice that he's become very nervous. Like, very, very nervous.
Jack, do you know something about that thing last night?
Look, like I said, I don't really know anything. He takes a long pause, and he says, "Look, I know a lot about a lot of things. I don't know about the supernatural, but I don't know. I can't help but feel that I just have really bad luck." And I'm worried that bad luck is going to rub off on you. It tends to rub off on people around me.
That's enough. Cover his ears and walk him away. Poor little boy. He's been through so much. This is just so needless. Shame on you, Avaris.
reacting to this dialogue at all? He's just kind of standing there.
Is who? No, Orson. Orson is not reacting to the dialogue, really. He's just sort of sitting, watching this happen. He doesn't seem super interested. Although, he doesn't seem interested in the ongoings, but as he's listening, obviously, and as he hears the misfortune, the talk about misfortune occurring to those around Jack, he starts to feel. You see him start to shift a bit, he maybe looks a little bit uncomfortable.
See, now you're making him uncomfortable too.
Orson?
You need to learn how to control yourself, Avaris. Let's continue on.
Let's.
All right. Okay, Avaris. Roll a perception for me. You have disadvantage on your perceptions. Oh, that's great. Okay. The raccoon darts across your feet. On your feet.
You said he was kind of limping earlier.
A little bit. You just see he's not as spry. He's not limping per se. He's just not as spry. He's still darting around, running around as a raccoon does. But before he was very, very fast, and now he's not as noticeably not as fast.
Jack, was the raccoon the visitor in the night?
He said, "No, my raccoon's not a visitor. He's my raccoon, whose name I don't recall."
Was the raccoon there the whole time at night, or did it leave?
The raccoon comes and goes, but I mean, we didn't
Would we have ever seen a pixie and that raccoon in the same room? Is mostly what I was asking.
I mean, no, you wouldn't have seen a pixie and the raccoon in the same room. But it is notable that you didn't search for that raccoon last night. No one asked about it, so it might have been there. It was not in the tree though, with Jack. But it typically doesn't sleep in the tree.
Did it leave anything on my boots when it walked across my feet?
It
Oop.
it reached out to touch your boot, like with its little paws. Since you rolled so well with perception, it reached out to touch your boot with its paws, and started to like untie one of your shoes as it ran by, and then it looked up and noticed that you noticed it and ran away.
Oh, he likes you.
Do I recall any trickster deities or tricksters from history that are involved with or have some kind of raccoon theme? I'm trained in both of those.
Roll a history for me. You can roll it with advantage if you're trained in it. Oof. Yeah, I mean, you have some recollection of deities that fae that can transform into creatures. And you know that like it could be a variety of creatures, so I guess you can assume that it could be a raccoon if you wanted.
All right, I'll just keep an eye out for the raccoon and try not to let it mess with me too much.
Okay. All right, so we'll say that you've traveled about a half a day. So it's about the half day mark. Does anyone want to do anything specific?
No.
Just walking.
Okay. Raccoon's still dark.
We should probably take a short rest and let the boys not die of exhaustion.
The pace definitely seems to be manifesting fairly clearly in the boys.
Carry a boy on our back and not stop.
You can carry. I mean, if someone wants to put a boy on their back, they can. Pace will slow down a little bit, but you'll still get there tonight. It'll just be a little bit later.
And
I can alternate.
Jack's creeping me out.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll do that.
So Jack creeping you out. So you want to put Jack on your back? Is that what you're saying?
I'm taking Orson because Jack creeps me out. Is what I.
Okay.
I was saying I could just piggyback them and just give them breaks and just switch every couple minutes. But that wouldn't like slowing me down because I have extra movement. Really is not. Would be fine. I really would keep pace with you guys.
With Orson on my back, has he climbed onto my back yet?
Oh, the raccoon's name was Barnaby. I do have it in my notes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. What did you say, Sizzler?
Orson I'll gesture, climb aboard.
Orson looks at Avaris. And then
Sure.
back at you.
If
And then back at Avaris.
your legs are tired and he's offering, go for it.
Is Orson the same boy that you tried to stuff into a bag? Or you did stuff into a bag?
Yeah, we
Yes.
stuffed him in the bag.
Yeah, Orson does not want to get near you.
Like I said, I'll give these boys
the same
piggyback
man.
rides, but I'll alternate every like 15 or so minutes.
Yeah, but he couldn't. He had to hold his breath. Remember, he was like,
No, there's 10 minutes of air in there.
I know, but he was still.
It was the only way we could get him up the cliff.
Look, I don't disagree with what you did. I'm just saying Orson is tentative around getting around the thing that threw him into a bag that had a limited air supply. And he's a small boy, so I don't think that he's like 8 or whatever. I don't think that he has like the reasoning skills to be able to like, well, that's the only way they could possibly save me without anyone saying that to me.
I'm continuing to walk.
All right.
Yeah. I'll like I said, I'll give them piggyback rides, and alternate.
All right. He'll accept Bungo's piggyback rides, I suppose.
Oh.
He's keeping a close eye on that bag. Okay, so you guys walk. Can someone roll another D6 for me, please? All right. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. You guys can be there. The lean-to is gone. You're walking the road to your right is the crevice that you're following, and you come across. As you walk up, you see this. Let's see.
I believe it's pronounced crevasse.
However, I keep pronouncing it like 10 different
Yeah.
ways.
Pretty fast.
You see. Where is the token that I promoted? Man, I hate these token layers. Never gonna get it right. Okay. I'll put this here.
Oh, good. They're not looking.
Okay.
You know how you play wacky video games every now and then, just put some weird characters from a high level. They didn't look like apes; they looked like skeletons with like Elvis wigs. Like, all right, sweet.
Yes. Skeletons with Elvis wigs. That's exactly what you come across. 4 skeletons with Elvis wigs.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay. So you come across 4 creatures crowded around a campfire. Like so. You would imagine, based on your traveling and your, we'll say, Sizzler's understanding of the lay of the land, given his nature role previously, that they are in between the road and you, and they're fairly close to the road. Thank you for the fire. Yeah, they're fairly close to the to the road.
Can we just walk around?
You could try to walk around.
Yeah, I suggest we give them a wide berth and we walk around.
Sure.
Let's see.
I'll follow around.
This way?
Not across the.
Not across
Crevasse.
the crevasse. Crevasse.
On the road.
No.
Sorry. Well,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Around
That's
this
okay.
way.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll try to go quietly.
Okay. All right. That's fine. You can try to go around quietly. Let's everyone roll some sort of stealth-based roll for me, please.
Oh, we're far enough away that we have to use stealth? I mean, or just naturally. All right.
Well, we saw them.
Okay. So you guys start walking, and you saw them. you're not quite sure if they saw you. As you start to give them sort of a wide berth, Sizzler steps on a branch, and there's a loud crack under his foot.
Great, let's keep going.
You see one of the, as the crack occurs, you see one of the creatures at the fire, like, look over his shoulder and just turn around.
Can I place a giant shrubbery in front of Sizzler?
Yes. So
A
you're going.
5-foot shrubbery.
So you are going to place. You're just going to place a shrubbery out of thin air in front of Sizzler.
Yes, I mean we're far enough away. Maybe he just didn't see. It's been a quick look.
Okay.
And now there's a shrubbery.
Okay.
Many fine shrubbery. Just one big.
All right. So a shrubbery appears in front of Sizzler.
I'll crouch behind this shrubbery.
What's next?
Well, he can see through it. We're just waiting for this guy to turn around.
He doesn't seem to be turning around. If anything, he took like 2 or 3 steps in the direction of you guys.
Can I tell what kind of creatures these are?
Yes, you can tell that they are. They seem to be orcs, but they all look slightly different. Or there seems to be some variety amongst them, but they are orcs.
I'm just seeing if I can do multiple illusions. It says it lasts for a minute, so can I make
It ends if you dismiss it as an action or cast the spell again.
Right, no, I want. Well, it doesn't say if I cast another one, right? Or if I.
It says if you cast the spell again.
Yeah, do that.
I'm gonna make the sound of a small bird. See if that'll convince him that's what's in the bush. Like
A crackle.
The one that turned around takes another 2 steps in the direction of the bird, and turns in the bird sound, and turns and you hear him shout something. You can't discern what it is, but shout something to the others, and the other one that had turned around, who was sort of next to him, doesn't move.
Okay. Can I tell Sizzler to get to cover?
Yeah, sure.
Am I not in cover? Oh, you mean cover other than the bush?
Other than the illusory bush, yes.
Yes. And we shall do the same.
All right, so Sizzler's in the tree.
Okay. Are we all hidden?
Yeah, I will try to find some light foliage to hide behind.
Okay. Yeah, you're all hidden now. Are you guys just gonna stay there?
Yeah. Can I make the bush seem like it's fading into the other bush? So it's not just all of a sudden it's gone.
You want to try to make? Is it still going to look like it's moving into another bush?
No, not like it's moving into another bush. Like it's just. No, I don't know how to do it other than I don't want it to pop away.
Right.
I want it to seem natural. So like as they get closer, perhaps it gets smaller.
Well, they'll just assume that it's based on their draw distance and the level of detail settings. So it's fine if it has to pop out.
Well, this one, the other one doesn't seem to be moving. So, well, at least
I don't want it to move. I mean,
okay. Well, let's do this. What do you want to do next? Like, what is your plan?
Plan is to hide and have them walk away.
Okay. But you want to keep your bush up? or you want the bush to go away, but you don't want it to pop away, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't want the bush to pop away and cause any more suspicion.
I see.
If we can help it. Yeah, if we can help it, I'd rather just have it kind of blend into the other tree, I guess, and so they don't notice that it's gone.
All right. You okay, so you guys sit there for a minute or what have you while the bush is there. This guy investigates a bit, and then you hear him shout something. Does anyone speak Orc? Orcish? Or understand it at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Did I take comprehend languages? Of course I did. Nope.
Okay. All right, so you hear him shout. Someone shouts something that is you can't quite discern what it is, and then you hear sort of like grumbling, like relatively raucous grumbling, and this guy pops. He starts to walk back toward the fire. Okay, it seems like they are watch. Though there's two are still facing you, but he has retreated back. The one that was sort of pseudo investigating has retreated back toward the fire.
Can I make a sound occur?
Make a sound what?
Can I make a sound occur over here, like something happening on the other side of the chasm to draw their attention away from us?
Sure. What sound are you gonna make?
Generic orc noise, maybe.
Generic orc noise number 1. Okay, sure.
No, number 7.
Oh, generic orc noise number 7. Yeah, sure. You make generic orc noise number 7, and the orcs' attention is drawn to toward the chasm.
You want to cheese it? Like, are they turning? They're currently turned towards us.
No, sorry. They are turned toward the chasm now. Just, I'm scooting them over.
Did
All right.
Bungo pitch his voice or something? Is that what happened?
He has
No,
minor
more of an
illusion.
illusion. Part of the illusion.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can create a sound.
Yeah, and it's going to go off for the full minute. Just on a loop.
Okay, you see them actually start to head, like, to look over the chasm now to see, like, why there are orc sounds coming from over there.
And is there can I stealthily dash with a child on my back?
Sure. I'll let everyone try to do that. You don't have to use. You don't have to do disadvantage or anything. Just everyone make stealth checks again for me. Yep, that's fine. Oh, that's not great. But oh, okay, not great. Okay, so you yeah, you don't. You all make it to about there. That's fine, and you're not being like that quiet. So no like huge twig snapping or anything, but as you run, as you hustle, basically, it's just you're not. Everyone other than Avaris is not doing a great job at keeping quiet about it. So this one of them turns its attention back toward the running and sees some like fleeting running, sees the three of you essentially, or I guess if Avaris doesn't want to be seen, sees the two of you sort of just like booking it through the woods.
Yeah, I'd like to continue doing that.
Okay.
Yoink.
Sizzler, what about you?
Me.
Yeah, sprint. Run.
Right. Avaris, what about you? Are you gonna run too?
Depends. Where are the two kids?
One is on Bungo's back, I believe. One is running with Bungo, hand in hand.
Okay. Does it look like that orc might be giving chase?
You can't quite tell. He just turned toward you guys. He hasn't moved yet.
I'll stay hidden here for now.
Okay. So this orc just takes like 2 or 3 steps toward you guys, and you hear him. He actually turns back toward his group and makes another like grunting, what sounds like more or less grunting language to you, and but continues to sort of watch the area. But no one else moves, from what you can see. What's everyone gonna do?
Seems like we should just keep going, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, that was the plan. Go around him.
Yeah, okay, so image. What are you doing, Bungo?
Yeah. Definitely same. I'm on the same wavelength.
Okay. All right, so Avaris, what do you do? So you guys can Bungo and Sizzler, you can make it sort of off the map, if you will. You can go to the next space. What what are you doing, Avaris?
I am waiting, and if I see the orcs like drawing weapons and heading towards them, then I might do something. Or if they, start giving chase, but I'm gonna wait until they're kind of around them before I move.
Sure. Okay, so the orc doesn't move, but you do see the orc draw a bow.
Does he pull out an arrow?
He pulls out an arrow, but he's not like pointing it at anything. It seems like he's more readying it.
Yeah, if he like starts to knock and draw, I'll fire on him.
Nope, he doesn't draw. He has the arrow like in a readied position and the bow sort of like down, and the arrow like not knocked per se, but close to it. Seeming like he's wondering. I don't know, the action's like seems like he's wondering if he's about to be attacked.
All right, then if Bungo and the kids and Sizzler are kind of out of their line of sight, then I'll put my arrow back and I'll just move around, give them a wide berth, but I won't be quiet or stealthy about it.
Strut.
All right.
I'll give them an up nod when I come out.
He yells something in a grunting language to you.
Common?
He says, "No."
Just passing through.
To where?
Away from this chasm.
All right. Sorry. Let's take a quick 5-minute break. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Because Catherine's making a milkshake. All right. I will. And it's about to get loud. All right. So like a quick 5-minute bio break, and then we'll be back and we can finish the intro.
You're like the white girl in every horror movie. Oh, I wonder what that sound is. We should go towards it.
Who,
That's
me?
Yeah. We're
No,
running
I
away.
know what the sound is. It's just that, like, I don't want the two kids to get run down by orcs in the middle of the woods.
They're running with me. They're fine.
Yeah, but if the orcs give chase to you guys, like, it's better for me to be able to distract them and keep them occupied.
I mean, better for you? Probably not. We're not stopping.
Yeah. We got the kids as arrow shields if we need to.
Operation Human Shield. You should commence with the running. If Lena was with you, she'd already be firing firebolts.
Probably.
She's on an ice kick lately, and missiles.
First level will always be fire. Be right back, gents.
All right, I am back. Is everyone else back? Okay. Bungo, I guess, is not back yet.
Back.
All right, is Craig back?
Don't know.
Craig. All right, Avaris. John, are you here? Okay, maybe we wait a few more minutes.
I mean, it's fine if they're running and they're not paying attention.
Yeah,
and
true.
They're not
That's
gonna
what I was
know
going
what's
to say.
happening here.
Yeah, we might as well start. Okay, so if they ran away basically, and you're having this interaction with the orc, um, so the orc just he doesn't have a. He's not like pointing the arrow at you or anything, but he has it prepared as I described before.
Yeah,
And
I'll just keep
yeah.
giving a wide berth.
Right. And he's like, "Where do you think you're going?
O-Town?
Via the road?"
That's the plan.
And he just starts laughing.
Bad plan?
He shakes his head and he says, If we don't get you coming, we'll get you going. It starts to walk away, back to the camp, back to his like little friend camp.
Sure. All right, I'll try to catch up with the boys.
Okay. Okay, so as you all move on to the next map, you go through all of you. Please make nature checks for me, all three of you. Damn, Jesus Christ, guys, incredible.
We love nature.
How many is that this session?
It's way too many to be real life. Okay, so you all three, I mean, we'll see what happens when Bungo gets back, but all three of you, you notice a very distinct change in the wood. Like in the woods, I should say. Like it's almost as if as you run, sort of you're sprinting through the. Oh, there's Bungo. Bungo, make a nature check for me. Oh, okay, never mind. All right, in 2 minutes you can make a nature check.
You know what it is? Because we've rolled 9 20s this session. It's definitely like the roll 20 admin team, like upping the odds on 20s to counteract any bad press that we get recently.
Great, good for them. So you run through this sort of thick canopy forest off the beaten trail. You run into the woods. You're because the two of you, and actually Bungo's is pretty good too. Your nature checks are pretty good. You're heading in the proper direction to sort of go around them and find your way to the road. But as you run through the thick forest, you get it's not too far. It's maybe like 15 or 20 meters, and it's this very dense forest. And then you pop out into almost what seems like a different environment. You pop out to. Let me put you all on this. There you go. Boom. Okay, so you are going to be here. You're going to enter there. Yep. And you seem to be like sort of on this like weird little island almost. Let's see. All right, everyone make perception checks. Well, I guess the two of you make perception checks for me. Okay, so Sizzler, you hear what sounds like a child laughing, and you hear it from one direction, which is approximately right here, and you hear it like coming from approximately right around this area, not like exactly where I'm clicking, but I'm just this side, and you hear it coming like this way toward you, and then you hear it coming this way toward you, like from the left, and then from the right, and then from the left, and then from the right. Avaris, it just sounds like it's coming from all around you. You can't quite tell with the distinction that Sizzler can, that it's coming from a direction, but alternating sides. It just sort of sounds like there's like childlike laughter just like emanating sort of from the forest, from all directions.
Shout out, halt! Who goes there?
The laughter continues. Like, but it gets like sort of like it sounds like the child or children are like think that that's hilarious. It gets louder.
And is it like swampy here?
Yeah, it's like swampy. It seems like there was some strange shift in the environment when you walked through sort of like you like parted Alice in Wonderland style the woods, and then you like popped onto this like weird sort of swampy-esque island. There's still trees. It's still sort of like this weird island in the middle of the forest, but it definitely clears out for this island.
Can I see a way around, or did like the path behind us close back up?
No, the path behind you didn't close up. I mean, you can certainly just go back the way you came if you want. The map that you see is a good depiction of what you actually see. The only thing that I would change is that like this stuff here. Let me some drawing for you guys. Like this stuff here is all like fairly thick wood.
I don't think you're drawing on the layer that we see. Oh, there it is.
Okay. Yeah, so like this stuff, like on the other side of these little rivers, is fairly thick wood. You can see the little rivers creating the island, but it's like thick wood on the other side of the rivers. Bungo.
Is that like actually clear?
So this is just like an oasis, but a swampy oasis.
Exactly, right? That's what you just walked into. If you can roll a perception for me.
Oh, an active roll. Okay. I have to actively perceive something.
You do.
All right.
Okay, so you yeah, it sort of sounds like there's laughter, like a childlike laughter coming from all around you. And then and then Sizzler said, "Halt, who goes there?" And like the children sort of like erupted into laughter, like they thought it was hilarious.
Like, not are the children with us, but the
No,
children's
correct. Yeah,
laughter
not
that
the
we're
children
hearing
with you.
from
And
them.
the children with you are freaked out.
So orcs? So orcs, guys? Orcs?
Like Jack is actually sweating. Like you see beads of sweat dripping down Jack's face. And he's
Orcs,
hugging
guys?
he's hugging
Orcs?
you crazy tight right now, Bungo.
Oisin, Jack, Orcs, or Creepy Swamp?
They like they're stunned.
Yeah.
Just Oisin just keeps saying like, I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. And
Let's go to orcs.
Jack is saying like, I don't want you guys to die, I don't want you guys to die.
Yeah, let's do orcs. We can handle this.
Get Oisin and hold out my bag and gesture towards him, saying, "Eh."
Oisin like looks like actually very torn. Where like the bag seems like it might be a legitimate option at this point.
Yeah, so let's go back to try to step back through the foliage into
Okay,
the other.
Yeah, that's fine. With the nature checks that you guys rolled earlier, that should be fine. You should be able to just make your way back fairly easily. It's again, like I said, it was while you were gone, Bungo. It was only like maybe what was it like 20-ish yards. So you guys just push your way back through the foliage, and you go back to the area that you came. So if you put
Cool.
yourself back on, oh, you're already there. Just Avaris, you have to move yourself over.
Let's go this way.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that.
All right, so everyone make your stealth roll. Bungo, man, with these 6s, what is going on?
Hey man, I don't know. This is brutal.
Everyone's
+6
rolling
and that's
20.
all I get.
Everyone's rolling 20s today except for you, and you can't hit a stealth with a 6.
Can I also try to make another illusory distraction?
You can try.
Yeah, I would like to. That's right. Yeah, I'm gonna make a voice that says, "Hey, right here," and then make a dude pop out. And let's make this a. I don't know, what do orcs hate?
Humans?
Fat dwarves.
A bat dwarf. Fat dwarf. There we go.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'm a fat dwarf,
All right.
and I have a
So
baseball cap. I'm cool.
so you draw the attention of the orcs, who all stand up this time with the "Hey guys, this is a fat dwarf," blah 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 blah, and they all start moving away from the fire toward the fat dwarf.
They're gonna get to it, or because I think we're just gonna hang out in this bush until they get closer to the fat dwarf.
Yep,
Yeah.
they are the two furthest away seem to be hanging back slightly, but this one does what he did previously. He pulls out a bow and he starts moving out, and he yells at the fat dwarf something in Orcish again.
I'm gonna be ready to grab the kids and run.
God, a pin wrap smoke bomb would be so happy, so good right
Like
now.
literally bodily lift them up and run with them.
Okay, so the orc shoots an arrow at the fat dwarf.
Oh, I have to touch it, so never mind. Oh, so I'd have to touch your pants last night. Ew.
I guess good thing he dodged.
Yeah. Right?
But we have to retcon all the way back 12 hours. So he all right, so the arrow goes through the dwarf.
I mean, how accurate is his shot? Maybe he misses the dwarf.
He didn't miss the dwarf.
How do you know?
Well, all right, what's
Without a
the
roll.
dwarf's AC, Craig?
I
And-
imagine.
The illusion's AC.
Yeah.
What's the illusion's AC?
I'm not telling you until you roll.
All right,
I'm gonna assume that it's 10 as a medium creature that's not moving.
13.
It's actually 11.
Okay, well, he got a 13, so.
Okay.
So the arrow
Yeah.
goes through the dwarf illusion whose AC is 11. There are other shouts in Orcish. You start to see the orcs fan out. No one's going to do anything.
And I'd like to
Let's
repeat
dash.
the image, I guess. Hey guys, I'm a fat dwarf. I'm doubling down and make it move closer. It's a new one though.
The orcs seem like sort of spooked, and they're searching. Like you see them like sniffing and looking, and
You know what would have been smarter for us to do was to have stolen a play out of the DM's playbook and just made creepy children's laughter around them without a fat dwarf.
hey, you don't know they could have run into that in the past. You guys don't know.
Try again, maybe. Hey, I'm a fat dwarf. I'm here to eat you.
Is he here to eat them or play Buck?
Both. He's
That's a fat
gonna
Albert
eat
teeth
and
cut.
play Buck. Does that do anything for them as he moves
No.
closer? Is that the images pop in and out?
No, he seems to know that someone's trying to. They seem to know someone's trying to mess with them.
Okay, how about this one? I'm a little baby. I'm lost. Help
Okay.
me.
I'm gonna grab the kids and book it.
See, here's the thing: physical interaction with the image reveals it to be an illusion.
This is
Because
a new
things
one,
can-
though. This
Because
is a
things
new
can pass
baby.
through it. Okay, but it
This
just
is a
popped up
baby.
randomly in front of him, Craig. So like, so there's just
Help
like
me.
spooky
I'm a
illusions.
baby.
All right, so
Okay.
what's happening? These orcs are still spreading out.
How about random like drum noises? Like
I
a
mean, are
beating.
you just getting?
This is like we're in Jumanji now.
I'm grabbing the kids and booking it.
Let's
Okay.
take a dash.
Sure, we dash.
All right. Well, now we are going to have to roll for initiative, since you just ran out into the open with a bunch of orcs searching for you.
No, the I'm a baby thing not working.
No, I'm sorry. Your 15th illusion in a row is not working. No. Okay. All right. So orcs go second. All right, Avaris, what would you like to do?
How far can I go with carrying both the kids?
One was on my back.
Avaris said that he grabbed the kids and started to run, but if you guys want to split them up beforehand, I'll let you do that.
It's up to him. I don't really.
I mean, it's fine if Bungo started running as well.
All right, so
Do
you
not-
can get like one full movement because it'll be, we'll say, like half movement dash.
Yeah, I'll do that, and I'll make sure that I'm keeping my back between the kid in front of me and the orcs.
Okay, wait. So you are between the kid and the orc, you're saying?
Yes.
Like your body. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, Bungo. Are you gonna do the same?
Sure.
Oh no, wait, hold
I
on. The
would
orc got it. Sorry, the orc's got an 18. I don't know why it didn't transfer. Boop. Man, I need a new mouse. Okay. So the orcs are going to this. Let's see. What's the distance? What kind of distance are we working here? Oh yeah, that's doable. All right. So Bungo, you are gonna get some attacks, my friend.
Am I now?
You are indeed. Unfortunately, as the closest party member to the orcs.
Good thing Avaris took the kids.
All right, so you are going to take, let's see. let's do this. Does a 15 or 25 hit?
25 will hit.
Okay. So that's 2 different attacks. And you take 6 damage.
Okay.
The other, so that's 2. We have 2 more. One of them is going to, this guy is going to run up to you.
How much damage did you say? 5? 6?
6. Yeah, 6. The 2 furthest, or these 2 shot arrows at you, basically, is the scenario. And one this one is going to run after you as well. No, actually that's not true. One is going to run after you. One will run after Avaris. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Here and here. You can do that. All right, so each of you is going to take an attack. With a glaive. So it is. Here's the 2 other attacks for you 2. 1 and 2. Oh my god. Okay, so they both rolled an 8. All right, never mind. JK. All right, so the orcs are done.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to take the disengage action. And I will 10, 20. I will run through this guy's feet. 30, 35. And then as a bonus action, I'll expend a key point and take the dodge action for my bonus.
When you disengage, this is a technical question.
Yep.
When you disengage, can you run through opportunity attacks separate from that?
Yep. It gives you you can't get or accrue an opportunity attack.
Okay. All right, so is that your turn? Dodge action?
Disengage and then use my key for
Right,
a
with the
bonus
key
action
point,
dodge.
right.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And I
Sizzler.
tell them to run, you fools, run.
You fools.
Fly! Fly! All right, what are you doing, Sizzler?
Well, I have a question. We're at a map, so if I wanted to keep running, how would that happen?
Sure. So you would take an action to leave the map, essentially.
To leave the map, even though it's 1 step in front of me?
Yes. And that will put you on the road. Yeah, that'll put you on the road, and you'll be out of combat. But that also means that, like, you won't be able to go back and fight. Essentially, you're going to be moving on, running to the road, and unless the action spills into the road or you want to come back.
Which is fine.
Let me ask this then.
Okay.
So if they have the orc on them, can they just never leave the map since they would need to take an action to disengage? Or I guess they could take an attack of opportunity and then leave the
Not
map.
all of us need to take a. Yeah, not all of us. Some of us get extra movements. So I wouldn't worry about that, sir.
Go to the road then. On to the road.
All right, so Sizzler runs onto the road. Avaris.
Yeah, I will. This guy can make an attack of opportunity. That's fine. I'm planning on booking it to the edge and then running.
All right. Let's see if Roll20 wants to give me something more than A 3, that'd be cool. Still not good enough. 14 doesn't
That
hit,
is
does
correct.
it? Yeah. Okay. You do it. You leave as well. Orc's turn.
20, 20,
Mur-
20,
Murder
20.
Bungo.
Sorry.
No,
Okay, so
I'm good. Bring it. Come at me,
Orcs.
bros.
These two orcs make their full movement toward Bungo. This orc does the same. It's going to be where Avaris is. And, God, man, this mouse, what the heck? Thanks. All right, so you're going to take 2 arrows and 2 glaive attacks. But you have
We
the...
can try.
Yep, you have the dodge action, so...
I will dodge, dip, dive, duck, and dodge.
All right, so this will be the first one with disadvantage is going to be the glaive, and then the second one will be the glaive, and the last ones will be the arrows. So glaive, disadvantage. Nope, 7's not going to do it. First one was nice though. Rip. Second glaive, it's 14.
Nope.
Dang. Okay. 10? No. 23.
23 will hit.
All right. All right, so you take 8 damage from the arrow.
Okay.
And now it is your turn.
All right. I'll bonus action disengage with a key point and then run away.
Okay. You all make it. Dun 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 dun. Onto the road.
Road.
You're at the top of the road. Yeah, sure, around there. You popped out of the woods. All right. You hear, as you sort of run onto the road, you hear crashing noises, like coming from the direction that you all just ran from, and shouting.
Ready some fire.
Ready some fire. Won't we just keep running? Seems like the safest thing to do.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep running.
Fire and keep running.
Okay.
Scratch that. I will ready a thunderstone and keep running.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, cool. So if you guys use your, just essentially keep running, then you'll see when you get halfway through the map, you will see start to see the orcs through the trees. And then everyone roll a perception for me, including you, Bungo.
How is this possible?
Jeez, Bungo.
Well, but by the rules, you can't actually get lower than your passive.
No, true. It's just
This is bonkers. Like all
yeah,
my
you're-
plus 6s.
I know
are
the
just
Sizzler and Avaris are just hitting nat 20s all night. And
Yeah, we drink your Nat 20 milkshakes.
yeah, you're running. You're rolling 9s with a +6. Okay, so all of you hear that laughter again, but you can't tell where it's coming from per se. It sort of seems like it's all around, but you also see the orcs like slow down and like the one orc, will say, that you can see through the trees, stops at the tree line and starts looking around nervously.
Okay, continue down the road.
All right, so Sizzler runs.
Walking. I'm walking now. The orc is stopped, so I'm just gonna stroll.
Bungo of ours.
Yeah, I'll keep going.
All right, as you move further away from where you exited the forest, it seems like the laughter gets quieter. With each passing step, the laughter gets quieter and quieter.
Keep walking and say, goodbye, friends!
Yeah. Huzzah, we did it.
All right, so you run on the road or move on the road quickly back to town. You have successfully made it back to town with Oisin and Jack and Barnaby in tow.
Wait. Was there any doubt?
Well, let me say this. I mean, you made it back to like the farm area. If you guys want to head back to town, but there were farms on the outskirts of town if you so desire to stop there.
We steal crops?
No.
Was-
These
this is
people
our
know us.
This is our farm map, I think, right? No, I lied. Where's our farm map? We had one.
Did we?
Oh. Yeah. Remember because they tried to steal? They wanted to steal a horse, and they like went into this.
Oh yeah, there was. That's right. There was like a farmer's daughter who was at the tavern previously or something.
Yep.
She was into me and then turned out not to be, really? Or turned
Who
off
was
by
this?
my burbiness?
I mean, do you guys want to stop at the farm? If you will, I'll find the farm map. But if you don't want to, then
I think
Nah, we're good.
okay.
yeah, we can
Alright.
avoid the farm.
Okay. All right.
As we're strolling through, can I grab like an ear of corn or something and start munching on it?
Sure. You do that.
I hope he knows that's number 2 feed corn.
It is feed corn, though. It is like a horse and whatnot.
He is a bird. I don't think he
True.
cares.
I'm into it.
All right. Yep. You get an ear of corn. You can add you can get 2 if you want to add one to your inventory, but just that's it. You eat one. All right. So you're back in town. You made it back in town. It is nighttime. Most the shops and everything obviously seem closed. The tavern is still open. Stays open pretty much all the time. And you guys pop back into town.
Oisin, where's your family live?
He says, "My family, my dad and my brothers, they live at the castle with the ruler of this land. They all the nobles, well, at least the high lords, they live in the castle."
We should get you there first.
Yes, and Jack, where are we dropping you off?
Jack just says, "I mean, I guess and anywhere is fine. I mean, I don't really, not really. I wasn't, I wasn't heading to this town. I was heading to the other town. So I'll find my way." So if you guys are leaving Jack starts to walk toward the inn. And
wait, Jack, remember who's helped you? We did. If you ever need anything, remember who the adventurers.
Jack
be
says,
named at some time.
Did he say he was gonna pay us to bring him to town?
Yeah. So before he leaves, he sort of like scoops up Barnaby, and he looks sort of like sullen, and he's like, "Well,
Didn't let him touch him.
What? Yeah,
Said,
Barnaby.
Even I can't touch Barnaby or whatever it was.
Barnaby allows Jack to scoop him up, and Jack says, "Well, at least none of you died. I mean, that's and I'm alive, I guess. So that's good. And he hands each of you, all three of you, a and you can just add one in holding for Lena too. But each of you a sack with gold inside of it, 50 gold. You each get 50 gold pieces, and then he hands Bungo another sack, and he says, I just made these back in my lab, and I figured you guys could probably use them." And he gives them to Bungo, and to do with as he pleases, and he starts to walk in the direction of the inn with Barnaby in hand.
What is in this bag?
It is 3 potions.
Planetary Potions.
Three
What?
potions.
I couldn't hear. What potions?
Three potions.
3 potions of what?
All right, 1 potion of invisibility,
Okay.
1 potion of greater healing, and 1 potion of fire breath.
Okay.
So Jack walks away into the night.
What a good kid.
Okay, so are you guys going to try to drop Oysen off?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so you walk over to the castle, and you are met with a guard. I mean, you can't just walk into the castle, particularly at night. So you're walk up. Let's see if I think I have a map for this.
And this one is the greater healing is what?
Um,
4d4, I think.
sure, that sounds about right. I'm fine with that.
44 plus 4.
Yeah, I think it's like regular is 2d4 plus 2, greater is 4d4 plus 4, and then I think superior is 8d4 plus 8.
Yep, 44 plus 4. Uncommon. Got it.
All right, so you walk up to the castle area, and you are stopped. There are 2 guards who are standing outside the massive stone fortress, which is surrounded by a moat, and 2 guards in uniform are stationed outside the lower drawbridge. The moment you guys start to walk toward the drawbridge, one of the guards interrupts you with a firm halt.
Met.
Yeah, I hope.
What is your
Yes.
business? What is your business here?
You don't recognize his lordship? And I point to the child.
The guards, one of the guard points at the other one and gives him a thumbs, he indicates with his thumb that he needs to go inside of the castle, and the guard that said halt to you, so the other one scurries off toward into the castle over the bridge. The one that said a halt to you says, "Of course I recognize Oysen."
Fantastic. So what is this meaning of us halting? We are here to return him.
Yeah. We'll send someone will come out to get him.
We must talk to his lordship. Was it father, stepfather?
Yeah, so the guard just says, look. That's way out of my pay grade. Someone will be out in a minute.
Fair enough. What's your name? Good sir.
Franklin.
Mind if I call you Frank?
I hate
Frank?
I hate when people call me Frank.
Oh. All right, Franklin. And I try to chum it up with him. Let him know that it is I, the great folk hero Bungo. I probably bought him a drink earlier.
All right, roll me some sort of charisma.
Certainly.
I'm sure it'll go well. If you roll a 9, I'm gonna laugh so hard. Oh my god. Okay, so he doesn't seem that enthused, but he's like, "Yeah, I think maybe you did buy me a drink the other night.
Yes.
That'll make up for you accidentally calling me friend."
I meet so many guards. It's tough to keep you guys in head. Anyway, so we were out adventuring, doing what we do, and we came upon Orson here. And yeah, we're just another old notch in our hero belt. Because it's kind of what we do, Frank.
Frank, I mean, at your statement that you meet a lot of guards, etc., he sort of like scoffs, and he's like, "All right, great," like sort of. He seems to be like a little bit disdainful, like, "Oh, more adventurers, great."
Oh, was it you that used to be an adventurer? I see that scar near your knee.
He says, "Nope. That you know what? There are a lot. That's a mistake that a lot of people make. I actually got this in a tennis accident, believe it or not."
You don't say.
He like swings his arm like he used to play tennis. Okay, so as a few minutes go by, as you're just making small talk with this guard and not doing great on your persuasion rolls, a richly dressed, pompous-looking man starts walking toward you guys over the out of the castle, over the drawbridge, and he greets you with a disdainful look. And he, how are you all positioned?
Where's the castle?
I mean, like, where are you positioned in with respect to Oysen? Who's closest to him? Is someone like, is he just standing there? Are you guys just milling about?
I'm probably next to him.
Okay. So the pompous dressed individual, he comes out and he says, "Oh, well, thank you, thank you for your loyalty to the Earl. I'll be taking the boy now." And he just grabs Oysen by the arm and starts to drag him inside.
Who might you be, sir? I'd like to stop him before he saunters off.
Do you touch him?
No. I don't invade his space, but I put up my hand to halt him. He probably would not want to run into my grisly adventurer's hand.
Okay, so he grabs Oysen by the arm, and you put your hand up. Basically, is the scenario.
I mean, I imagine if I'm talking with the guard, and Orson's back there, as he's grabbing him, and starts trying to walk away, I step in front of him.
Sure. So the guard like puts his hand between you and the gentleman, and the gentleman, who still has Oysen in tow, says, "Chamberlain, that's Chamberlain Rooney to you." And he just starts to, and he like starts to walk as the guard sort of steps in between the two of you. He starts to walk around you.
Well, sir, we've returned his lordship. It is customary, as you know, to reward those who save those of your lineage. I'm sure you do not want word to get out that you do not treat those around you who serve you so disdainfully.
He says, "I mean, you didn't serve me." And he's like, "Would you like to keep the boy?" As he's still sort of dragging him away a little bit, but he's like, "You can keep the boy."
That's up to him. What do you say?
At this point, I'll hold open the bag and say, "Huh?
Oysen like looks down at the ground, and he is like physically being drug away, and he sort of like looks down at the ground and doesn't say anything as he's being pulled away. And the
Well,
guard is standing in between you and Chamberlain now. Chamberlain Rooney.
seeing how he still prefers a life of luxury over that of a hardworking adventurer doing it purely from good intentions, I believe your bill is due, sir. Oh, surely. You
So
know
the
what
other
that. Go ahead.
the other guard is back now. The other guard sort of like walks in the opposite direction across the bridge. The other guard is back, and you notice like other guards along the wall are starting to like peer over to hear sort of what the disturbance is. And Chamberlain Rooney doesn't even react to what you're saying, and you just hear him chastising Oisin. And the last thing you hear as Oisin's being drug away is, "Captain Whelan better be alive, or you're going to get the beating of your life." And that's
this
it.
went so well towards us last time.
And that's it.
Can I-
Oisin and Chamberlain Rooney
can't-
disappear into the castle.
What? I can't cast friends on him?
I mean, do you want to? Oh, I'm sorry. You wanted to try to cast friends on him?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to touch it? How does that work? Do you have to touch him?
No, you target yourself, and then whoever you're choosing when you target it, when you cast it on yourself, but you choose a creature, and then you have advantage on charisma checks against them. You don't have to touch them.
Okay. You can try to roll a charisma and convince Chamberlain Rooney, I suppose, to do something. Or are you
Yeah.
trying to who are you trying to convince of this here?
Chamberlain.
Okay. So
Well,
roll your persuasion, I guess, and tell me what you're trying to say or do. Okay. What are you trying to do?
convince him that it would be in his best interest, as we are the greatest adventurers in the realm, that he should reward us, lest his name, lest he bring shame on his family's name.
Okay. Chamberlain Rooney, before he disappears, in reaction to you shouting past the guards at him,
Mm-hmm.
he says, "I'll discuss it with Oisin's father. Come back tomorrow."
When? Where? Here? What time?
He disappears.
But you
You
guys haven't been paid in a week, huh? And I look at Franklin.
Franklin shrugs his shoulders and says, "I get paid."
I bet you do, you dog.
He said, He goes, "Workers' comp," and then he like moves his leg that has the injured knee. How much experience is it to the next level for you guys?
You've been doing
Tell them twice
milestone.
as much as it actually is, so it gets to the next level.
Yeah, you've been doing milestone. You haven't given
Yeah.
us XP.
Okay, I'm trying to see how I want to do this. I guess what I'm gonna do then is I will give you the level up, and here is how the future game is going to pan out. This is going to be your downtime. So you can, obviously there's the option to go back to the castle. The ruler of the land who you will meet is not Oisin's father. Oisin's father is like a high lord though. And the ruler of the land is going to offer you a quest. The quest takes place in a land that is not in this town, you will have to take a boat to get there. The boat comes to town in approximately 1 month. You will have the option to do something in that month, whether it's make some sort of a personal, train personal, as I've sort of already described to you, train personally, or build something. There will also be 2 individual quests that you can take up on behalf of the ruler, which I will post in RP chat. You can certainly undertake those if you would like. It will likely take the month, or a very large part of the month, and will one rewards a large sum of gold, one rewards a magic item, of which you are not sure, but you know that it's a magic item. And you can also, if 2 people want to do the quest, you can obviously join up on the quest and either split the gold or do what you want between the 2 of you with the magic item. There is only one, though. But the world is sort of your oyster. You can, if you want to do some training and you want to get some sort of a bonus or something along those lines, I mean, I'm happy to chat with you about that. If you want to, I think Lena had made some mention, for example, that she wanted to maybe do some sort of a character swap scenario. That's totally fine. Just whatever you guys want to do with your month, justify it to me in some sense, and I will largely, we'll make it work. And you guys can all, if you level up, you'll be level 5, right? Except for
Yes.
Bongo. Except for Bongo, he'll be level what, 2 or
2? Yeah, because everybody else has taken 1 level from him.
Sure. Okay, sure. So everyone can get to level 5, and Bongo can get to level 2.
Sweet.
I'm gonna try to spend the month being Oisin's tutor, if they'll hire me in history.
Okay. All right. Sure. So you don't have to explain it right now. How we're gonna do it, just on a function, is send me write either in RP chat what you want to do, or just send it to me in a DM. And then at the beginning of next session, okay, we're going to run through your visit to the castle. We are going to do your interaction with the ruler. And then he's going to give you the quest. Then each of you can describe what you do over that time frame. And if if people join up in a quest, obviously, we can handle it that way. And then after that is over, whatever changes are made, you'll describe to me and each other and Twitch chat, and then we can start playing again with the entrance, with your getting onto the boat and starting your quest.
Before we get through all that,
one other question.
Sure.
Before we get into the 1 month, each person doing their own things, I assume we would attempt to turn in the original quest.
Yeah. That's like, I think that.
Yeah,
exactly
well,
what I was
sure.
gonna
So
say.
I was going to handle that all in one session because it is nighttime. So you, 1, you don't know where that woman lives, right? And 2, but you know that she runs a shop during the day, and you know where the shop is. So I assume that you guys would probably want to handle it when it's like daytime, right?
Yeah, do that,
sure.
go to the ruler, and then
Sure.
from there.
Yeah, that's fine. However you guys want to structure your that day, that's fine. You can do that way. But that was just sort of the I was just giving you the quick and dirty breakdown of how that's going to go. But tonight you would just go back to the inn, stay at the inn for the evening, and then you can go back, turn in your quest, and go to the ruler. That's fine. What were you saying, Craig?
No, I was going to ask what's
okay.
the reward for turning in the quests? We didn't.
Yeah,
do it
sure.
For free.
Yep. So you got a bunch of gold. I just preloaded your milestone for all of that, getting back to town and level 5. But you get a bunch of gold as well. I can't remember the exact amount, but I'll parse it out when you interact with the woman, because it was different whether you brought her kids back or whether you brought the the rings or whatever the scenario was. So yeah, well, I'll parse it out then. So you're gonna end up getting a bunch of gold from her. I mean, obviously she runs an inn, so you can haggle for supplies or anything along those lines if you want. Things like that. But yeah, you can do that before you go to the ruler. That's fine. But we can run through all those interactions next week.
All right.
Okay.
Woo.
All right. Congrats,
Done
guys.
leveling.
Level 5 and level 2. All right. So yeah. So everyone have your short paragraph blurb of what you want to do, and if it's anything that will net you or you want to justify netting you some sort of bonus or something different about your character or a different class or something along those lines, just let me know and we'll figure out the best way to go about doing that. Okay?
Cool beans, hot dog.
All right,
Cool.
cool. All right, everyone have a nice night, and we'll talk to you later. Oh,
Okay.
also, yeah, I'm gonna
All right,
post,
see
like I
ya.
said, this weekend I'm gonna post the 2 quests in RP chat, so you can check those out too, and decide if that's something anyone wants to undertake over their month or not. 2 mini quests. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Good night.
Night.